Hello, and welcome to Double Dragon Trouble, our weekly D&D stream where we play a game of homebrew D&D set in the Forgotten Realms, in a setting where Tiamat, the Queen of Chromatic Dragons, have taken over the entire world. But luckily, we have some adventurers who are fighting back. They joined the Resistance, and well, let's have them in arbitrary order. We only have two today because of various reasons. We have Chris Jørgensen playing Balthazar, the ASMR Warlock. And then we have Frederik Pandu playing Dinok, the Wood Elf Monk. The tiniest applause ever. Anyway, so you're in the Feywild. You have been tracking a caravan of dragon cultists for a long time across the material plane, and it ended up in a fortress which had a portal to the Feywild. And you followed because you want to get the souls of Dinok and your former companion Dagos back. In the Feywild, you found a vast underground city, apparently ruled by... I'm not even sure you know yet who is really ruling the city, so maybe I should not spoil that. But at least it's full of mostly elves, but there are a lot of other creatures. So it's kind of like an underground city, but it's not like a dwarvish city or like anything. It's a very beautiful city, despite its dark architecture. So last time you came to an inn and had a nice rest in their onsen.
Oh yeah.
And when you got back out, you found soldiers in the tap room, accosting the barkeep, wanting her to tell them where her brother was hiding. Apparently her brother was skipping duty in the Royal Guards, or something like that. Which is apparently a huge crime in the city. And they want to find him. She resisted. They want to arrest her, and then you stepped in and killed most of the guards. Only one of them escaped. And the barkeep didn't seem very grateful towards you, since this will probably spell the end of her business. But she revealed that her brother was indeed hiding in the tavern inside a huge barrel of wine. And he explained a bit. And he brought you to a safe location inside a crypt in a small cemetery. And so in many ways we're back where we began. In a crypt, in a cemetery.
Ah, that's true. That's true.
Let's hope it ends slightly better this time than last time.
This time I have dark vision.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
So he basically explained that the reason why he was deserting the guard was because he had got this quest, if you will, by the Black Staff of Waterdeep, to bring the Black Staff back to Waterdeep. So the Black Staff is both a wizard, or like an office in former Waterdeep before the dragons took over, but it's also an artifact, which is a Black Staff. And he revealed that he is in possession of this Black Staff, and his mission is to get it back. And he asked for your help to do that, since you appear to be on the same team as he is.
Yeah.
But you still have the two souls to find. Of course, you don't have to. But you made him write you some fake invitations to the court and draw a map of the royal court. So we'll just jump back into the action, or whatever you want to call it. The non-action.
Action. Roll initiative.
Jump back into the conversation inside the crypt, with Lucan just finishing the map, holding up in front of you. Here you go. Also, Lucan is a half-elf, in case you forgot.
Right, that's true.
He shows you the map, and I believe it is on the stream. Oh yeah, it is.
It is.
So he shows you, puts it down in front of you. So this is a rough sketch. my memory is not, well, you don't ever expect to need to draw a map of your workplace, do you? I don't know. Maybe I haven't. So it's a rough sketch, but it has the most important details on it. If you notice, I have marked with red chalk the places of security.
Oh.
The thing is that there's a strict hierarchy in the court, and people are afraid to offend people above them. So if you can get past the security points and just don't make too much of a spectacle of yourselves, you should be able to pass under the radar if you just pretend to be aloof and all that. Maybe you can manage that. So if you get past the points of security, in between should be relatively safe. But there are a lot of points of security.
Yeah, I can see. And you got invitations as well?
Yes, he takes out some of the other papers he has written. So of course I don't have the best materials available, but they should pass if they don't check them too closely.
Are they specific as to who are invited, or should we just roll up as anyone?
Well, there are two types of invitations: specific and general invitations. I've written them as general invitations.
All right. So as long as we don't look too out of place, we should be able to use them.
Yes, you will find that there are many people, different kinds of races visiting the court. So, but he looks at your dragon cultist armor. That armor might be a bit too conspicuous because, or maybe it'll be an advantage. It's just that people are more aware of these dragon cultists in the city lately.
Do you think an illusion would work, or would that be too obvious?
Well, if it's discovered, then it's not gonna end well, I think. So maybe hiding in plain sight is the best option.
Could be.
But of course, it might grant you access to areas. So the general invitation will allow you to enter the court through the main gate, but it will not get you past any other points. You won't be able to enter all the side quarters or anything else. So you're going to have to improvise from there on. Also, I almost forgot. So I haven't written or drawn the exact details of the quarters because the security that the court employs it's kind of a maze, really. The corridors that lead to the quarters change and shift regularly. So no one really knows the way back and forth. So are you familiar with the term trailblazing?
Vaguely.
All right, it's a system where you mark points on a path or trail, if you will, which will allow other travelers to find their way. So all the guards, or most of the guards, have these blaze stones that you can use to activate these blazes. So you basically tell the stone where you want to go, and it will show you the correct symbols. So it will guide you through this maze. Without one, you're gonna spend a lot of time there, and if people are confused, it'll be suspicious. But you can have mine. Hopefully it'll still be up to date.
We could check the captain.
Good idea. He probably has one.
Yeah.
Check his pockets.
Yeah. Checking his pockets.
So we're looking for these souls.
Yes.
Do you know where they would be kept? Would that be in the main court or one of the other quarters?
Well, do you know who has them?
I just look at Dinak and his Did you see anything specific in this
She's like,
vision
drop a coin.
you had?
Also,
Well-
you do find it looks like a stone that fits the like in the palm of your hand, and then there's kind of like a bronze mirror on the front of it. I think that's a blaze stone.
Nice. Okay, last I knew, our souls were in the possession of Green Hag. But that's some time ago now. You said something that they usually traded souls to the queen?
Yes. As you know, there are many kinds of spells that require, or maybe you don't, but it is said that they use souls for various kinds of spells and stuff. But I must say the trade in souls are slightly prolific in the court, so it might not be the queen who has the souls now, it might be someone else.
Hmm.
But, well, a hag, they're not too common, so you could ask around, maybe someone will know. If you can do that without drawing too much attention to yourselves. You know the name of this hag?
No.
No.
Could you recognize her if you saw her? She might still be in the court.
Probably.
Alright. Do you think she would recognize you?
I've never met her.
Maybe
so
not. Depends on how much attention she pays to a few people.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Has she? How many of you have she seen before?
Only me.
All right. Well, maybe you should try not to get spotted by her then.
Okay.
In case she's in there.
What are you wearing right now, Tinak? Just your normal clothes?
No, I'm wearing edgy clothes.
Alright.
Oh yeah, you stole the coat. The
Yeah.
edgy coat.
Can I like roll is that a history check or something? To see if I actually can remember what she looked like.
I mean, you have a pretty good recollection. I mean, it was pretty traumatic, so it's kind of like burnt into your eyes. Just that.
That's all you can remember.
That weird graveyard in the weird plain with the green sky and all the black trees and the hag basically
Cutting
claiming your
off my
soul
hand.
and cutting off your hand. So yeah, I think you'd remember.
I etched her face into my hand.
All right.
So, infiltration.
I guess we should. Is there at any point where the guard posts shift?
Well, yeah, it shifts about 4 times a day.
Do you know when these 4 times are, perhaps?
Yeah, it'll be well. There's this gong that you might be able to hear when you get close to the court. Basically, every second time it rings, it's a guard shift.
Okay.
So you, I mean, this is you have to be careful about this. This is like security is high here. You have to be careful. If it comes to a fight, well, best of luck.
Great.
Well, I say
Surrender
let's-
might be preferable, but it might also be best just to make a glorious stand and not suffer. It kind of depends on what mood the queen is in.
Interesting queen.
You might see her when you enter the court from a distance.
So So the question is really if we should try and talk our way in with the invitations, or if you want to sneak your way in.
Well, as far as I can see on the map, we have the guard entrance, or the entrance from the royal warehouses
Yeah.
that we might be able to sneak in from.
Yes, of course, there's also that. So the royal warehouses are in the city, close to the breweries and the baking district. So they don't have that inside the court, so they have this passage where the servants can bring supplies directly into the kitchens. The guards' passage is heavily guarded, as the name might suggest, and also it leads into the barracks. So the court basically has, I wouldn't say a small army, but several companies standing by in the barracks at all times in case of unrest or trouble of any kind. So taking that way would lead you directly into hundreds of soldiers.
Would you happen to know if they search you before permitting you into the court?
At the gate?
Yeah, like take weapons and stuff.
Well, you are allowed to bear arms in there, unless it is, of course, highly destructive weapons.
Okay.
But swords, that kind of stuff, should be fine.
Perfect.
Unless you bring, like, I don't know. What do I know? Magical items like necklaces of fireballs, for example. Like, it can cause huge mayhem very quickly.
Okay. Well, then I guess we should just get going.
I will wait here for 2 days. And if you're not back by then, I am going to assume that you failed, and I will do my best to carry on with my mission on my own.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Understandable.
Do you want to do this now? Do you have
Yeah.
need of a rest?
We should probably... Didn't they say something about if waiting too long would make it almost impossible to leave the city? Since they're in...
Alright.
Well, right now, they probably just found out what happened at 7. So if you're going to use the captain's blaze-stone, I mean, the sooner the better, I would say.
Yeah. Let's get going then.
Very well.
All right.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Onwards.
Good.
Is,
So,
Is Bethloga just catatonic in the corner?
She was hidden by a poison...
Actually, Bethroga suggests that you split the danger, the risk. So you two can go try to find the souls. If you fail, she will stay behind and help Luke and get the black staff back to Waterdeep. That way, if you fail, you can still carry on with the mission and conveniently leave a player without the player today behind.
Right. And what about you, Grubberlust?
I'll go with you. You and I have a special bond.
Right.
That you do.
We all have a special bond. And let it be known that if we die today, we'll die as brothers.
Okay, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
And if we win
prefer
today, we will be victorious as brothers. Basically, everything we do will lead down to this point where we will be brothers.
Perfect.
Right.
Well,
So,
let's get going.
which entrance should we go for?
Perhaps just the main gate.
Alright, so we're just gonna try and use the invitations.
Yeah, it's at least suspicious.
And so I should probably change, right?
Perhaps.
Should I just use magic? I can look like pretty much anything.
Nah, just let's see if we can get you into some just ordinary clothes.
Sure,
Like,
but just like from my experience, this face, I pull down my hood and reveal all the veins and stuff. It's not usually invited into most places. Of course,
Well,
I can use
Luca looks at
illusion.
you. I mean, when you get there, you won't be surprised at. I don't think anyone would notice.
Well, that's in that case good.
this might be the only place where you can actually show your face.
Interesting. All right, so normal clothes.
Yeah, I mean, if they find out that something's an illusion, they might.
Yeah, I
become
agree.
more,
I agree. I've already
Good
found
illusion.
out once.
Dives into Bethroga's disguise kit and finds like a long, dark brown cloak that he swings over his dragonborn shoulders and pulls the hood over his head.
Looking great. All right, so I should find something. Is there a shop nearby? I ask. Yeah.
Well, there are plenty.
For just clothing, nothing too expensive, but
Yeah. If you just follow the main street, you'll find plenty of shops.
all right.
I also grabbed my dagger of healing from Bathroga.
All right, you look for the dagger of healing, but it's not where you left it.
Dear God.
Who took it? Oh, so Bathroga doesn't have it.
No. She like empties her bag for you to see. Nothing in it.
Anyone knows where the dagger of healing might have gone?
Don't even know what that is, to be honest. Is that an item of yours?
Yeah.
Oh.
A
Sounds
dagger. That heals.
Counterintuitive. I haven't seen it.
Oh, probably that elf.
I'm just gonna take off my cloak, big red cloak entirely, just to look a bit different until I
Alright.
get some other clothes.
Good. All right. Well,
Yep.
you want to leave the crypt and head
Yep.
out. All right.
Right.
So you carefully open the door a bit, look outside, check to the left, check to the right. You can't see anyone nearby, so you slip out, close the tomb or the crypt again behind you, because you weren't raised in a barn. And then you head out of the cemetery, down the road. It's easy to see where the main street is, because it seems that all streets kind of like narrow to a point, almost like branches on a tree. So you just follow them in the direction they get wider and wider until they spill out in this, you could almost say, the main trunk of the city.
All right. So I need some clothes. So just quick shopping, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know what clothes will cost. I don't have a lot of money. We'll see. We'll see when we get there.
Yeah. Otherwise, I have some gold.
All right. I have about 4 gold.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you look around, see if you could find a garment shop. You find some very fancy shops, just like in the center, with a huge open windows where you can see all the stuff on display inside, backlit by these golden crystals that appear to be all over the city. But you also find a slight more dingy shop down a side branch, if you will, that looks to have some edgy clothes, but nothing too fancy.
Oh, I'm going back to my old self. Let's go for that one.
All right, you enter, and you see the shopkeeper comes running towards you as you enter. It's a gnome with a spiky black beard, spiky black hair, and just like looks extremely sleepy. Sleep deprived, if you like. Just runs over to you. Yes. What do you need?
I mean, clothes would be a good start.
Of course, as you can see, we have a lot of that.
Hmm.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Just something decent that isn't too expensive. Not
Long
looking
cloak,
for like
short cloak, vest. I'm sorry, you need to be more specific.
just a vest.
A vest, excellent.
Uh,
He walks over, finds like a whole rack, and just pulls it out, pulls it in front of you, and just shows you. We have all of these. Mostly do it black. It's what people in this town want. You look like you're from out of town. I hope you like black.
I'm familiar with.
Nice. Looks. This thing you have going on your face, we can maybe this thing. And he like puts down a black vest, and it has like silvery veins in it, almost mirroring the veins in your face, just like inverse colors. This could work. Unless you want to hide this, of course. I don't know. Is it a tattoo?
No.
Or is it, you're not contagious, are you?
No.
I
It'll
could.
be fine. Do you have a full outfit that matches that vest?
Oh yes. Let me see. He walks around a bit, finds some pants and a cloak and stuff, and it all has this viney pattern to it.
If I wanted it all, what would what
2
price
gold
are we talking?
pieces.
2 gold.
Yes.
That seems more than fair. I'll take it.
Very well. He takes the coins, hands you over the clothes.
Do you have a room I could change in right now? I am eager to get these fine clothes on.
Oh yes, we have a dressing room right over there in points.
Alright. I'm just gonna head in and...
As you head towards it, you can see a black dragonborn exits the dressing room, and he's wearing like a cloak with a collar, and it's like super high. It like goes above his head, and it like spiky up, and then he has like spiky shoulders, and it's just like spikes and spikes all over the place. And just looks around. Yes, I'll take this. I'll take this one. And he looks at you, and he walks past you.
This is legit. For Balthazar, this is like when you look back on your teenage years and are like, did I dress like that? Oh god.
This might be teenage Dragonball, who knows?
Yeah, I'm just gonna head in and redress in these new...
And you emerge from the dressing room, dressed smartly in this like vest with a cloak. It's kind of like an Inverness cloak, so it has like this like smaller cloak on top, and then the sleeves, and it's all black with these silvery veins, and very dashing.
All right. Well,
Smash.
That's certainly something new. I think we can get going now.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's head out.
So you get out in the main street and just follow it towards the end. You can see that like this main street is very wide, and it's full of people, like booths selling all kinds of stuff, and then the shops along the sides, and all these side branch streets here and there. And it all narrows down to this point, drawn on your map. As you get to the end, you can see the entrance to the court is, how do you say? Before you get to it, you notice these trees, black trees, carved from the black rock that this whole place is made of. And so you've kind of like walked through a sparse forest made of these black, almost obsidian-like trees with silver leaves attached to their branches. And at the end of this, it narrows to the point with a huge silvery gate, flanked by 2 towers with the bastions and parapets on them. You can see guards patrolling up above you, carrying bows. You can see what looks like spellcasters walking amongst them. And then down between these 2 towers, the silvery gate is just crowded with the city guards, looking at people's invitations, waving them through, checking people for weapons, all that kind of stuff. And beyond the silver gate, you can see a vast cavern lit by these hanging golden crystals. And there are tables as far as you can see in all directions, and people just crowding beyond. And in the far distance in the court, you can see this mound. And on top of that, you can see a throng of people clad in colorful clothes. But it's very distant, so you can't really make out the details from here.
Do you want to take the lead?
Yeah, let's just go and stand in line. Seems like the modest thing to do.
Yeah.
You enter the line. You can see in front of you there are like a band of kobolds led by, looks like some kind of half-elf wearing a blue and black robe, and he's like, keeps looking, stay in line. Stop doing that. Further up you can see it looks like some kind of, maybe a troll, but it's very furry, and it has like a strangely human face, so it's a bit disturbing. And then beyond it, there are two dwarves with a black skin. I think these might be Durgar from the, maybe from the Underdark. And beyond that, there's another creature hunched over, wearing tattered robes, with a hay sticking out from the sleeves and stuff. So weird people, mostly. But the guards don't seem to mind. They just, next, then look at the invitations, scrutinize it a bit, check people for weapons a bit, and then they wave through. And the queue slowly progresses until they get to you.
Perfect.
Please, get closer. Invitations, please.
Yeah. Hand over the invitations.
He takes them, looks at them. He looks at you over the top of the invitations. Very well. He looks you over, just like pats you down a bit. Nothing too excessive, it seems. Very well. One last thing, and he waves another guy over, and he comes with a silver stick with what looks like some kind of a glass prism on the end, and he holds it up in front of his eye and then looks you over. Yes. Yeah, they seem to be in order. Very good. Move along.
Right.
Yeah. We move.
Yeah.
Alright, you pass through the silvery gate, and you emerge into the court. So the first bit of the court is basically flanked by these huge pillars, and you can see the walls beyond. According to the map, the one on the right from where you're standing is the kitchen area. The one on the left is the barracks, and you can see the wall towards the barracks have what's called like arrow slits all the way along, and you can see a lot of guards sitting outside playing cards and various games. And then in front of you, all the tables and all the people, and there are a lot of elves, but also other kinds of creatures. You can see in the distance there's a huge, again, one of these giants, but its face looks really messed up, as if it has been warped by some kind of magic.
Ugh.
And the cacophony of voices and screams and maybe the calling of birds just rush towards you.
Well,
Can
this
I,
is nice.
Yeah. Can I see any hacks in the room?
Make a perception check.
Oh, this will be good. 22.
22.
Hack vision.
You follow the stream into the court as you look around, searching, and then you see over at one table, there's an elf with long black hair, in an engaged discussion with a creature that you hadn't seen a creature like this before, but you just instinctively know that this must be a hag. The posture of the body, but the face looks like it has been like wrapped in what's called a burlap sack with holes torn in them, and from inside there's something writhing. You're not sure. You can't really see it. Pretty disgusting, but the whole posture of this creature reeks of hagness. I mean, you had a close encounter with a hag, so kind of get the same vibes.
You seeing anything?
I have an
You
idea.
see too much.
You mind letting me know what this idea is?
Over by that table, I'm pretty sure that that weird creature with the sack on its head is a hag.
All right.
I'm
Is it
not
the
sure
hag?
it's the hag, but I might have an idea.
All right. Which is?
We talk to her.
All right. But just if it happens to be the hag, wouldn't she recognize you?
Probably.
All right. Well,
I'm pretty sure it's not the hag. Or not pretty sure, but I'm quite sure.
I just look up at Kurbalusht and gauge what he thinks of this idea.
So make an insight check.
All right. What is my insight? Nope. 3.
3.
No, 4, but still.
You look at him, and normally he's pretty easy to read, but
Mm.
you can't gauge him at all.
Alright. Go for it, I suppose.
Well, walk over to the hag and the elf and ask if we may join them at their table.
So you walk over, and you can see the elf kind of like notices you out of the corner of his eyes, and he's clearly aware that you're approaching, and he sort of like shifts a bit to sort of like block you off. But then you ask the question, and he sort of leans over. What is your business? Can't you see we're busy?
Well, no need then. We'll just be on our way.
He turns again, slightly with his back to you, and then continues his conversation with the hag. And as you get, now that you stand this close, you can hear this kind of like a buzzing sound come from within the sack, almost as if it's full of bees or wasps.
Definitely not this hag. Is there a free table or something?
Then you hear a voice coming from the hag as you're about to leave. It sounds like an old woman's voice, but it's kind of like distorted, as if someone tried to make it sound like it was spoken by the buzzing of insect wings. I'm not going to try to reproduce that, but
come on.
So
let's hear what it has to say. This young man. Come closer. Don't be shy.
I walk closer.
I'm gonna keep my distance a bit.
Please forgive the rudeness of my companion here. He is very busy, as you see, but I have plenty of time. How can I help you?
Well, I was wondering, you perhaps, if you know anything about dealings with souls. Because I might know some dealers.
Interesting.
For the right price or for the right, what do you call it?
You seem pretty nervous, boy. Is this your first time in the court?
Indeed it is.
Oh.
Very
So
perceptive.
This deal of yours, surely he has, or she has provided you with a sample.
No.
She looks over at Gruberlyst and Balthasar. Maybe one of those.
That depends.
Don't be shy. In this business, can't be coy like that.
Well, I'm more interested in hearing what could we get out of it compared to what the other hags have to offer? I know of a green hag who offers quite a nice deal. I don't know if you've seen her.
As you speak, she reaches out a hand. It's kind of covered in this burlap glove. And she kind of like reaches for your hand, tries to grab it. You want to resist?
No.
Right, so
I reach out my
Get it.
right hand.
it feels rather solid, but it's again as if it's. You get a sense that there might just be a swarm of wasps or something inside it, filling up the glove. As she takes your hand, holds it up to her burlap face, turns it up a bit, and looks you in the eyes. Oh. How strange. I'd almost say you don't have a soul. You
Well,
have weird priorities.
maybe I don't have a soul.
I don't think you have one. Makes you a bit untrustworthy in the old thing. Selling souls.
Maybe.
I think your story is far more interesting than what you're letting on.
Well, that depends on how well you know a certain hag.
I know some.
Would you happen to know of a hag that has recently come in the possession of the soul of a Triton?
Ah, that's interesting. Make an insight check.
Yeah, 11.
11. You get a sense of an expression, even though it's this burlap sack with just like a cut slit for the eyes and a slit for the mouth. You think you saw a flash of emotion, but you're not entirely sure what kind of emotion it was. Maybe because this burlap face is so strange and unfamiliar to you. Maybe I know something about that. What are you willing to pay for that information?
Well, that depends on what would you think would be a fair price.
Well, we could start with one soul. You seem to have two in your... She looks over Gruppelust and Balthasar again. In your group?
Well, the matter of fact is, you notice that I don't have a soul.
Indeed.
And my late Triton companion also lost his soul. Or we had to trade it away for our lives and the lives of our companions. So I am trying to get those souls back. But since our companion is dead, I would be willing to just if I got that one soul back, then you could have my soul, perhaps, when we got the souls back.
So you're trying to trade something you do not possess.
Indeed, I know it's unorthodox.
It's not unorthodox. It's bad business. That's what it is.
True.
Don't you have anything else of value? You look like, she leans back a bit, this adventuring type. Don't you have some kind of treasures or items? Something interesting. A soul would be preferable, but I can do with other stuff.
Well, let me see what I still have. We do still have those cut off heads.
I'm not interested in body parts. That's not my department.
Oh, okay.
You can do a thing for me instead.
Well, what would you have us do?
You see that guy over there? As she points a burlappy hand, finger towards a table nearby. And you can see there's a wide-chested man with a long beard just sticking out to both sides. Bushy eyebrows, not pointy ears, but certainly weird gnarly ears that sort of like protrude up a bit. So looks a bit human, but also something is off.
Yeah, what about him?
Could you slip something into his drink for me?
That could certainly be arranged.
Well, if you could do that, then I would be able to part with some of my information.
Well, what would you have liked to be slipped?
She pulls out a small vial from her robe and hands it to you. Don't drop it. Don't drink it yourself.
Of course. How potent is this? Will he,
None of your business.
as you said, if
Don't
you
you
say so?
either. Better start.
Okay, I grab it. I quickly just say to my companions that I have to go drop off a gift.
All right. Any more info? That seems kind of a strange thing to get out of that.
If you just walk a bit away from that table over there, and I slowly nod towards the direction.
Right.
You can see the elf is trying to resume the conversation with the hag, but the hag is kind of like just leaning to the side, watching you.
Do we need to do anything? Distraction? Anything? Just
Well,
keep our distance.
if you could find a way to distract that guy,
Which one is it?
the one sitting right over by that table, the one with the long beard and the bushy eyebrows.
I can certainly try. It'll probably be... I doubt using magic in here will get me anywhere good. So I can try and talk to him.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. So I'll go on the opposite side of him than you, and then whatever you have to do. Fine, let's try. Yep. I guess I start walking towards this man that was pointed out.
You approach him, and as you sort of like get around him, he turns to you, and for a moment there's like a finally expression, but then he realizes you're probably not the one he was expecting, so like and then you stop up and he looks at you. Excuse me, can I help you with something?
Meanwhile, I slowly walk up just casually to the other side. And I would like to do it like stealthily so as not to make a lot of noise.
All right.
But still like look if I can.
Make a stealth check.
18.
You, 18. Balthazar. Come now.
Is he's just speaking common?
Yeah.
Alright. Damn, that was my plan. Alright. I was supposed to meet someone here. Goes by your description.
Aren't we all? By my description.
Yes.
He like gets up a bit. Just adjusts his, you notice he has daggers in his belt.
What are you here for?
What? How dare you ask me such a question? I don't even know who you are. How would have you present yourself?
I mean, I'm just a messenger. If you're not who I'm looking for, then I can go talk to someone else.
Do you really want me to ask for your name a second time? He nods. Looks pointed at you.
Fine. I'm Gabriel.
Very good. She settles down a bit. So what message do you bring, Gabriel?
I prepare to slip the drink. Like preparing the small bottle.
Well, I was told that you were interested in some wares of my master.
You are being excessively vague, my good sir. And I would have you know that if you were in my
Slowly
employ,
drop the pile.
make a
Or-
sleight of hand check. If you were in my employ, I would fire you
22.
immediately. 22. Such a shabby business. Just get to the point, man. He grabs his glass.
You know what? Maybe you're not the one I'm looking for.
Hi, is that you, Gabriel? I
Yes.
ask over and just walk over to Balthazar quickly.
This is
Oh! Hello there.
unbelievable. Get out of my sight, both of you.
Oh, sorry, was he disturbing you?
Get
I will.
out of my sight.
I sure wish we get out of his
one
sight.
hand on his dagger.
And we just walk not directly towards the hack, just sort of like diagonal.
And
Diag.
I just follow
just
behind
like-
him.
All right.
Yeah.
His gaze follow you as he takes a sip from his drink.
Is there an empty table that we can sit by?
Yeah.
Well, let's sit.
So did you walk towards the hack?
Not towards the hack, just like a bit askew, so we don't walk directly towards the hack.
All right. He looks after you, takes a sip from his drink, and then shakes his head. Then he gets back to whatever he was doing, writing a poem or something like that.
Alright. Well, what was that about?
Well, I don't know.
Alright, that seems promising.
He's not dead yet. Very disappointing, actually. I was kind of curious in what kind of
keeps
poisons
writing.
hacks could
In
do.
whatever book he is writing in. Lifts his drink, takes another sip. Looks over at you. And looks back at his papers.
Is there any way we can buy some drinks in here?
You can't see any, like a bar or anything, but you can see there are clearly servants walking around amongst the tables with trays full of various drinks. And it
I would
appears
ju-
that people are just like grabbing from these trays.
Oh, I guess I'll go and grab 2 drinks or 3 drinks.
You grab them. There's like one greenish one, another like glowing yellow, and a blue one.
Lovely. You bring them to the table.
All right, you put them down. As you do that, you hear a loud scream. Ah! Ah! You look over at the man. He starts pouring blood from his face. Ah! Ah! He looks at the drink. Gets up, and then his flesh just melts from his bones, and he collapses into his chair.
I stand up and look surprised.
I dropped the drinks I just gathered.
All right, both of you make deception checks.
Oh God.
Come on. I'm good at
Performance
this. Am I
checks
not?
are-
Oh, this is pretty good. Deception. Alright.
15.
Come on. 23.
23. All right. So yeah, you make your best act.
Just look horrified.
You can see there's a guard nearby who looks around, just scans the crowd. His eyes passes over you, but then he moves on and then walks over to the man and, great, my God, it's like so disgusting, and looks around and then waves some guards from the barracks over.
I like that it's just like a bath. Oh god.
Oh,
Not
God.
another one.
It's like almost at my end of my shift.
How do I deal with this?
Yeah, some guards walk over and, dang it. All right, I'll get to the paperwork.
Oh,
Alright. Was that intentional?
Well, we do say causation is not equal to correlation, or correlation is not equal causation. So
That's
I
gonna
would-
hold up in court.
definitely.
I'm going to
Well,
assume.
we are in court.
Yeah, you are in a court.
Yeah.
Going to assume that you had a reason for that.
Hopefully.
Green Balust looks a bit green beneath his coppery scales.
You're right.
Yes, of course.
I would tell
I
you to have a
will,
drink, but they're spilled on the floor. Go.
Tell you what, you get some other drinks to wash down the sour taste I have in my throat or in my mouth, and I'll go over and speak with a little masked or sacked.
Mhm. As you approach, she is looking at you and then carefully clapping her burlapy hands, and then, but nothing too excessive. And she, very well done, very efficient. I might have other work for you if you're interested.
Well, that depends on the information.
Oh yeah. So that was a hack that came through earlier. Maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. You know, time in this place is a bit weird.
Yeah.
And she had this soul of a Triton, and that of course caused a bit of a stir because they are a bit unusual. I don't know if they're any more potent than a human soul or an elf soul, but this one, it's a bit of a novelty. Might be interesting to a collector.
Would you perhaps know what happened to that soul?
It was sold, or at least it was handed over to. Do you know of the Blazing Knight?
Can't say I do.
Well, she points down the court towards the mound in the far distance, and you can see now that we're a bit closer. There are 2 rings of guards surrounding it, just shields locked together, spear points glinting in the golden light from the lamps above. And at the top, there's this kind of like a separate party with some tables and a huge chair. And in that chair, there's an elf with a like neon blue hair. But also sitting at that table, there's what basically looks like an animated black armor full of flames. The one on fire, that is the Blazing Knight. He has been collecting souls recently. They say he's working on a new project. I am fairly sure that Auntie Pickwad brought her fine little souls to him. She usually does. She is in debt to him. I'm not sure why. Would be interesting to know.
Would you happen to know where he has personal quarters?
You're not going to try to rob him, are you?
Not exactly.
Well, if you want to get in touch with him, you can speak to some of his staff. I might be able to point them out for you.
That would be quite useful.
But what value would it have?
You mentioned more work.
Indeed, I did. You're catching on pretty quick, even for someone without a soul.
Well, I might.
She looks over the elf with like, I might have found a replacement for you, and he just skulls.
So
very good.
Let's hear it.
I want you to take this. And she pulls out a folded piece of paper. And then from another pocket, she finds like a small leather tube, and she rolls it up, puts it in the tube, seals it. I want you to take this and slip it into the pocket.
of that one over there. And she points with her burlap hand towards a guard standing near a column close to the entrance. Looks a bit bored, looks around, looks a bit preoccupied by all the stir going on at the other table where the guy melted.
Well, I wouldn't blame him. Consider it done.
Excellent. Looking forward to the result.
I would still be very interested to know what was in that little small vial. I have studied the event called death a lot. So I am particularly interested in any way or form that it manifests.
Well,
And
if
your
you're
little-
interested in purchasing a bit of it, we might be able to strike a deal somehow. But first,
Good.
go on your merry way.
Of course. Again, I just slowly slip by Balthasar and Grbelusht and just mention, sorry, but we have another task.
What now?
I have to give that guard over there something.
Alright, you want to
And
just go and give it to him?
Give.
Oh.
It needs to be given directly to his pocket without him noticing.
Do you need another distraction?
That would be good,
Oh,
but maybe not a direct distraction. That might be too weird. So just like drop some drinks onto another person in court or something. Unless that's punishable by death, I don't know.
we don't really know the
Feywild
rules.
law.
I mean, I can do illusions. I can talk to him. I can act sick. I don't know.
Sure, that would be good.
Which one? Just all of them.
All of them at the same time.
I will certainly try.
No, just like you could just act sick. Maybe just.
I'll try. So, same plan as before. I hit him from one side and then you'll slip in from the other.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. I
Alright.
get up and already start just walking a bit slow and looking around like, oof, not feeling too good. As I approach him slowly, and then when I approach him, I'm just gonna topple over and like grab his lower part of his vest or whatever he's wearing or something I can grab, and just like oh.
You like grab onto the top of his shield and just leans on it and just sort of like let's go a bit. So like, please stand back. Please stand back. I don't want any of this.
I quickly walk over, like pretending to go and grab Balthasar, and while near the guard, I just try and slip the little container into his pocket as I grab a hold of Balthasar.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Please don't betray me. Oh, lovely. Okay, nice. Oh, that is 24.
Oh, very good. Was it a natural 20 or was it...
No, 24.
Oh.
Wait, did he roll a natural 20?
Because maybe he wrote a natural 20 on his perception check.
Holy shit.
Just all this is happening, and you can see he's like super quick. He's just, citizen, please stay away. And then he sees you approaching and just slap your hand, and the leather roll falls into the ground. What the hell are you trying at? Stay back. And he draws his sword.
I still pretend to be sick. I'm just gonna like see
See,
the sword as like slightly.
No.
Then he waves to someone behind you, and you can hear footsteps behind you.
Sorry. I merely meant to take away my friend here, and since he troubled you, I meant to give you this money.
Don't give me that. I'm perfectly aware that you tried to slip this into my pocket. And you can see behind you 3 other guards approach. What is all this? Well, we shall see, the guard says, and bows down and picks up the tube. We shall see. And he opens it, puts out the paper, unfolds it, and looks at it. Reads it. It's like, closes it again.
Can I attempt to slip away?
Make a stealth check.
Oh God!
Stealth. Oh, I'm so good at that. 11.
11?
Yeah.
One of them doesn't notice you, and that's the guy who is holding the letter. The 3 behind you all just, please stay where you are until this is resolved. The one with the paper sort of like leans over to you. Like, who gave you this? Who ordered you to bring this to me?
Can I like silently mention a certain sacked figure?
Silently mention.
Oh no, just like sort of whisper it into the air.
Just.
No, just tell him in a low tone so as to the hag not, preferably not hearing it.
You can do that if you want to.
Yeah. I do that.
He looks excessively disappointed. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Takes the letter, looks at it for one moment. Then he leans over. There's just one torch on the wall, and torches the letter. I don't know about that one. He points at Balthazar. But this one, he pushes a thumb at you, Dinog. I think we should let him sit it out the night in the dungeon.
I ask him like, can you at least take the container even without the letter and put it in your pocket?
Just look. Such audacity.
Well, you can try.
Do you know what the content of that letter was?
I can honestly say I have no idea.
You're just another errand boy, aren't you? Working for those disgusting creatures.
Well, I'm not working for them because I want to.
Doesn't make a difference to me. The other 3 guards are like, listen, come now, what did he do? What would warrant a night in the dungeon? He tried to slip contraband into the pocket of the guard. That should be quite enough. And one of the guards says, contraband? Took that a piece of paper and you burned it. You burned the evidence. So like, yeah, well.
Can I like, well, it did indicate some rather nasty stuff about some from the guard, I think. Can I like try and make a deception check to the other guards? Yeah. Even though I suck at it.
Sure, make a deception check.
Well, let's see how this goes. I rolled an 18.
18? So, then what kind of information wasn't that? And one of them sort of walks over and tries to pick up the remains of the letter and holds up, trying to read some of it. But it's just completely charred. What was this letter?
Well,
Everyone's looking at you now, Dina.
Well, now we'll never know. As you said, I only know small pieces. I'm just an errands boy.
All the guys look at each other. Well, there's hardly been a crime committed here, would you say? Ah. Get out of here. Get lost. And take that guy with you, and points at Balthazar. Disgusting outlanders.
Well, I guess we should walk out.
I start slowly getting up, still pretending to be sick.
The guard just takes the leather tube and just throws it at you, Dina, as you walk away.
Can I catch it?
Yeah, sure. Make a dexterity check.
Oh, how is this? Wait, does it hit me?
Well, did you catch it? How well did you roll?
No, it's just.
Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna hit you.
Are you gonna deflect miss?
Yeah.
Just
I will use my reaction to deflect the missile.
Alright.
And I will it by. Oh, that will be. I will reduce the damage by a D10 plus. Where's my D10? Oh my god. Oh, there. No. I will reduce the damage by 19.
Alright. He throws it at you, and you just. Do you want to grab it, or do you just want to.
Yeah, I
throw it away?
catch it.
Alright. He sheaths his sword and. Get out of here. Get out of here before I find something to arrest you for.
Well, that didn't work out.
Well, let's just walk out.
Out of the court entirely?
I think that's what they're trying to make us do.
Maybe. I try to catch eye contact with the Korbalusht if I can see him.
He's close to the hag still, looking at you.
Just... What should we do? Split up?
Yeah, you can go walk towards the hag. It was mainly me. And I'll just leave the court for now.
Alright, so what should I do exactly? This is your mission.
Talk to the hag, she'll know. Or we
Alright.
could just stay out of her business.
Well, did she give you any information?
Only for me to slip this container into
The guard
pocket
looks
of
at
that
you.
guard.
So you're having this conversation almost in his face. You know what? That hag over there. You can do me a favor, then I'll forget everything.
Well, funny you should ask. What would that favor be?
He reaches into his pocket and slips out a vial. Put this into her drink.
Well,
He hands it to you. Do that.
did she see? Did she see the guard burning the paper? Could she see that from where she was sitting? Or
Well, if she was observing.
But was she?
Or was she? Who knows?
if you put this container into your pocket again, then I don't know if she was observing me, but it might.
I don't think it's gonna work, to be honest, judging from the content of that letter, but sure, I can do that if you do your part.
Wonderful.
He takes
And
the tube, puts it in his pocket.
I walk back towards the table.
Alright. As you approach, you can see the hag sitting there,
Balthasar, does Balthasar follow me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think he should sit in on this one too, so he knows what's happening and could probably be my voice of wisdom. Or
The hag
reason.
looks at you as you approach. That didn't go too well, did it?
Oh shit.
No, definitely not.
Oh well, you tried.
But well, you could argue that the container still physically made it into his pocket.
Yeah, but it was not the intended
Yeah.
outcome.
What was in that letter?
None of your business.
Okay.
Is there room to actually sit at the table?
Yeah, that's some room.
Alright, I just sit down. Close to the hag.
But you still did a good job. I suppose you did do what I asked you to. What kind of information was it again you wanted? I keep forgetting this drink. It's very potent. Dark wine. Some say it's twice as strong as the stuff you have on the material plane.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I have tasted it.
Exquisite.
Yeah.
Once you have tasted this, you can never go back to that red stuff you have.
Indeed.
So, what now?
Okay, this is going to be very, very dangerous, I think. No.
That seems like us.
Yeah. Well, since you're obviously not very excited for my latest failure, sorry about that. Would you happen to have anything else I could do? I barely managed to get away from that guy.
I don't know. If you can't even handle such a simple job, I'm not sure we should cause too much of the trouble.
He did say something interesting, though.
And what would that be?
He was going to throw me in the dungeon.
Ah.
But he offered to forget everything.
Indeed.
If I put a small, the contents of a small vial into your drink.
Did he now?
Yes, he did. I slowly bring out the bottle, like stealthily, so the guard can't see from his position.
Interesting. And foolish on his part.
Would you happen to know what the contents of this vial is?
Well, I could make a guess. But I think we already know.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Interesting. How long are you staying in the court?
Well, I think we'll be here for like a maximum of 2 days at most.
That's a shame. Very well. Come back tomorrow, then I have something for you. And I will even pay you for it. If you succeed.
Wonderful. What would that be?
Let's just say it will involve that vial. And that guard over there.
The
But
one
this
we
bit
just...
requires a bit more planning.
Okay. Can I like would it be okay if I like pretended to pour the contents into your glass? While you
Sure.
pretend to look away?
Go ahead.
Okay. Balthasar, will
Turns
you
over, grabs in a very obvious gesture another drink from a passing servant.
I quickly pour, or not the exact contents, but like just make the pouring motion over her drink.
Then she takes her old drink, lifts up, and then throws it in your face. How dare you! Get away from me! let you do the job.
Okay. Well, let's hurry out.
You know what? You are amusing. I'm going to tell you. If you want to get into contact with the Blazing Knight, look for his servants. They'll wear orange clothes. They are pretty obvious in this place. His steward is called Hatharai. Do you know what an Eladrin is? You don't appear to have been here very long, so I don't suppose you do.
No. Do I know? Can I make a history check if I stumble upon it from a temple book or something?
You can do that.
Well, I doubt I know anything. That is 10.
You have been a cloistered scholar or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, you'll notice what I mean when you see him.
Okay.
He is all, well, it kind of depends on his mood, but all the time I've seen him here, he has been in his summer mood. Golden hair, bronze skin, that kind of stuff.
Interesting. Well, as you said, we'll be back here by tomorrow.
Very good.
And can we see any of those servants?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, that's 14.
14. You look around, and most of these people are wearing like earthen colors or black. A few have some startling colored robes, like crystal blue or like neon green. So the few people who are wearing orange clothes stand out pretty clearly. And you can see, oh yeah, there are two of them over there. And there's also one over there just entering a doorway. So you can see some people wearing orange clothes.
What doorway did that person enter?
So that would correspond with the one that says guild quarters.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's head over to one of those people not enter the guild quarters.
All right. You make your way through the court, and you have to pass between tables and all kinds of creatures sitting, just drinking and carousing. And
I keep
plotting.
sitting with the hag.
All right.
I don't follow. I'm just gonna
Very
look
good.
at her for a little.
All right. She looks at you.
Oh, interested in her, are we?
Then she leans over to the elf with the black hair and continues whatever conversation she was having. So, as I said, Lenny, blah 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 blah.
Are they just
that
speaking
continues.
common?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Interesting.
Meantime, Dinok, you make your way through the court towards them, and you can see they're sitting at a table, sharing some drinks. They have like their sleeves rolled up. Both of them are elves, just sitting there. They seem pretty casual.
I should really not be the party face. I'm not cut out for it. But I asked them if they are indeed servants of the Blazing Knight.
One of them looks up from his drink. Well, yeah, we are, and proud to serve. He seems to have had a bit of a drink. What do you want?
Well, I've heard some stories about him working on a new project, and I was wondering whether he was interested in either hiring some help if he needed it.
The guy looks over at his companion, and she like shakes her head slightly. What qualifications do you have?
Well, I have been practiced as a monk in a temple and studying death.
Uh-huh. What
A lot.
temperature does adamantine melt?
Adamantite. Well, I have not exactly worked with that.
Or,
Sorry.
how do you use a spell funnel?
A spell farm.
Mm.
I have not exactly worked a lot with spells. I'm more the examining type and the
At what temperature does glass shroom burn?
can I roll to see if I know this?
Make a nature check.
Oh goddamn, I'm not the knowledgeable one. 20.
20.
Natural
Natural
20.
Natural
No,
20.
natural 20. Do I know?
Sorry, was that a natural or unnatural 20?
Natural 20.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, you were sitting at a tavern at some place, and there was just this guy walking up to you, and he sat down and said, the thing about glass room is that it burns at 1400 degrees, whatever is equivalent to Celsius in this world.
1400 degrees.
1400. But the thing is, you can push that much higher. And then he just got up and then he walked away.
I repeat those exact words to those.
In that way as well. The thing about.
Dude, well, you see.
They look at each other. Well, not bad. Well, I don't know. Could we use another shroom? What's it called again?
Glass
A
shroom.
shroom stoker. I think the project is too far ahead to involve new people. I don't know. That other guy, what's the name? It's like Dalian, I think. Did he get sick or something? We might need a replacement. Alright, well, do you have any experience with stoking?
Well, I do.
Make a deception check.
A deception check or...
Yeah, unless you actually do have experience with stoking.
I haven't noted it down on my character sheet, so I don't suppose I do. Unless I'm oddly used to stoking the armory for making my own embalming tools and stuff at the temple, I don't know.
Well, make a deception check with disadvantage.
14.
14.
I rolled 2 15s in a row.
They look at each other. I mean, experienced stokers are not easy to get by down here. So, well, we could pass them by Hatterai. I'm not sure if we should risk, but on the other hand, if we could find a new stoker, it's sort of like consult for a moment. Risk, reward, profit. What's your name, Mr. Stoker?
My name is Dinok.
Dino. Alright. Well, you know what? Won't you be prepared to meet our boss? And if he likes you, then you could just have yourself a job at the Shroom Forge.
I would prepare to do that.
Alright. Well, if you don't have anything else to do right now, we can do it right away.
Well, let's do it.
Alright. Well, come along then. They get up, empty their drinks, put them down, and they start making their way towards the entrance to the courtier's quarters.
Oh! VIP?
So Balthazar, you can see they get up and start to lead Dinok away towards one of the entrances.
Hmm.
I'm really disappointed that Balthazar is not the one doing this.
Is the hag still just talking?
Yeah, she doesn't seem very interested in you.
Does she still have a drink?
Yeah,
Is she holding it or is it just in front of her?
just like taking a sip. You don't know exactly how she drinks. She like puts it through the burlap sack, and you can hear this buzzing sound whenever she does that, and then she like puts it down, makes some gestures, talk a bit, picks it up again, drinks, holds it for a moment, puts it down, so it moves around a bit.
This may be extremely risky. Sometimes when she puts it down, I'm just gonna grab it and take a big drink out of it.
Or her drink.
Yeah, her drink.
All right, make a sleight of hand check.
It's not that I'm trying to do it sneakily.
All right.
I'm doing it obviously in front of her.
All right. You just grab it and she looks at you.
So, you know something about souls.
I also know something about manners, even down here.
Well, obviously I don't.
Clearly you don't. But yes, souls is my business. Are you in the market to purchase?
I'm more looking for some basic information that I don't have.
Well,
just about souls, nothing.
she scratches a burlap face. What do you take me for? Some kind of information broker?
Well, I assume we could make a deal, maybe.
Well, what do you have to offer?
Are you only interested in souls?
No, I'll take valuable objects, magical items, beautiful craftworks, anything of value.
I pull out the jade amulet that I have. Is this something?
She looks at it. Oh, this is a pretty thing. Can I touch it?
Sure, go ahead.
She takes it, and then you can obviously see she casts a spell. Yeah. This is at least worth some information. What do you want to know? She puts it in her robe.
Say a deity of some kind holds claim to a person's soul. If that person were to die, would they end up in the plane of that deity?
That is usually what you would expect, unless some kind of, how do you say, precautions are put in place. But you know, the moment a soul leaves its body, it's just a tug of war between all kinds of powers. And whoever has the best claim usually takes the prize.
Shit. So, these precautions. Is that something
you and your
have
friends seem to be very, very involved in this soul business.
I'm not talking
but
about
not
the same business
in the
that they
profitable
were.
way.
This is personal.
Oh, indeed.
And mine wasn't.
Well, it kind of depends on what kind of power has a stake in your soul. But there are ways to lock a soul away. If you could manage to do that on the moment of death, it would be out of reach from whatever power has a claim. And if there's a special place you want your soul to go, and you have a very good friend who would be willing to take the journey, it is possible to carry the soul to that place physically, manually, if you will. It has been done before. But of course, the trick is to capture the soul before it leaves the body.
Right.
Well, that's not a trick, really, but the trick is doing it at the last moment. Unless you want to take the risk and carry your soul in a separate container. You could do that. But of course, it makes it easier to rob you of your soul. if you do so.
That sounds like a lich. Am I wrong?
No, not really. Oh, well, you are wrong. Liches are different. They feed upon souls, and thank all the gods of the multiverse for that, because that makes a good business for the rest of us.
So, say I want to extract my soul.
Yes.
How would I go about doing that?
Well, there are certain people who can help you with that. Maybe I could, if you would trust.
You can understand my hesitation when I've just overheard talking
Naturally.
about trading
Naturally.
souls.
Yes. I wouldn't trust any other hag either.
Is there any extra value to a soul that has been claimed by a powerful deity?
Well, it depends on the buyer.
Of course.
Maybe someone would find it advantageous to have a stake in a soul that is claimed by some other power.
So, is there any price if you would do it for me? Or is it just trust?
Well, what do you have to offer? Clearly not your soul.
No. I don't have a lot. At the moment, at least.
No. But if you could obtain some souls, I would say such a small service would easily be worth just a single soul.
Alright. But then we're back to the whole trapping souls thing.
Yes, but there are people who sell souls in this place. Or you could steal them. I hear the Blazing Knight has quite a collection.
So if I bring a soul to you?
If it's not too hot, then yes, we can make a deal.
All right. Good to know. Well, that's all the information I needed, really.
Anytime. You could probably find me in the court.
All right. I just stand up and go and try and find Gerbalust.
He's standing right next to you, so when you get up, you sort of like bump into him.
Yeah.
Should we follow? And points towards Dina, who's just about to disappear through the door.
What is he doing exactly?
I don't know. He was talking to them, and then they all got up, and now they're walking towards that door. They don't seem hostile.
Well, but let's be cautious. We might not be allowed in there. He might have special. We'll see. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. You walk towards it. So, Dietrich, you can see as you approach the door out of the corner of your eye that Balthasar and Gerbalust are making their way towards you. And then you get to the door, and outside the door there are a few guards, and they look at the two servants in their orange clothes, and they like run through the pockets and then find some emblems that they show. The guards check them, and then who's this one? Oh, he's a prospect stoker. We're going to show him to our master. Well, all right. You vouch for him. Of course we do. Very well. This way. And one of the guards lead the way through the door, and he pulls out what you recognize as a blaze stone. And he says, Blazing Knight quarters. And some symbols appear on the stone. 3 symbols stacked as a pyramid. And he starts walking. And you can see all these corridors as you start to make your way down. They are mostly carved from this black obsidian-like rock, with like decorative columns here and there, leaves and all kinds of real nice carvings. But some places, it's clear that a corridor has been bricked up and sealed off. And you can see in another place, someone are actually digging a new tunnel. So it seems like there's some shifting architecture going on. Balthazar, you get to the door, but not in time to follow Dinok in. You see him get escorted through the door by one of the guards and then two other the servants in the orange clothes.
Oh shit. I just say to Gorbaluft. So
We can take one guard. I mean, we can take one guard.
But it's probably not that simple.
I don't know.
Maybe we should just wait.
Maybe.
I don't know exactly what he's doing.
Who knows?
And he was never heard from again.
I mean, you know him better than I do.
A bit. We had a short acquaintance, to be honest.
Hmm.
We went to rob this bank, and then I kind of got killed. And then the dragon cultist resurrected me. You know the story. I've told you it before.
Yes. You do seem to
Well-
care for these people a lot.
So, true friends are hard to come by in this world.
It's true. Did I tell you the story about when I went on an adventure with a group and we shared about 3 words with each other?
Yes, you told that story many times. It's a short one.
It is. It is.
I would like, if we get a chance one day, to go and see this sunless citadel of yours.
I wonder if it still stands.
Maybe. We'll see. So do you want to just hang out outside, or?
Was it just one guard?
At the moment, there's just one guard standing next to the door.
Alright, but this is still the...
Yeah,
There's
you're
still a
in
lot
the
of people.
court,
Yeah,
so
there's still a
there
lot
are
of people around us.
I can distract him, and you slip in.
Oh, that worked so well usually. Sure. Why not? You seem to be you're the type to cause a distraction.
Good. Be ready.
Alright, I am. Oh god.
All right. He walks up to the guard, and the guard sort of looks up at him. What's your business? I forgot all my stuff in the quarters of. He looks over his shoulder. That guy over there. He owes me a lot of money, and I have my stuff in his apartment. And can you take me to his apartment, because he's not going to do it, and I'm not gonna get my stuff back, and this is such a terrible situation.
Fuck.
Do you wanna do something as he's talking?
Yeah, I mean, if he seems sufficiently distracted, I'll see if I can slip by him.
All right, make a stealth check.
Oh, yay. A warlock's best friend. Let's see, stealth. 16?
16. All right. Yeah, this guy is absolutely consumed by Korobalus' story, and just step behind him, open the door, and then you slip in. You wait for a moment, and no one is following you.
And then I turn around at the other side of the door, and there are 7 guards standing.
No, you turn around, and there's this corridor that runs down, and then you can see it split in 3 directions, and you can see there's a side corridor, but it's blocked off by some recent masonry, and you can just hear the sound of chisels from somewhere in this system of corridors.
I just start heading down.
All right. So, Dinok, you've been taken through this maze, and every time you get to a point where the path splits, the guard looks at this blaze stone, and it shows some symbols, and you get a sense it's a pretty simple system. If it shows one symbol, he always goes straight ahead. If it shows like two symbols, slightly skewed to the right, he goes right.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Left, goes to the left. And so it seems it's a pretty simple system, but you think without this stone you would be completely lost trying to find your way through this. You're pretty sure you backtracked at some point, and you're pretty sure at some point that one corridor you passed has now been blocked off by masonry. You're not sure because these corridors are a bit identical almost. But the guard seems pretty confident in his guiding skills. Do you just want to follow along, or is there anything you want to do while you travel?
Drop some breadcrumbs.
How is that going to work? But well, it's lucky that we both have a blaze stone. Like, we got that from the guy who escaped with us.
Which one of you took it?
Yeah,
you searched him.
I searched the captain, so I have the captain's ones.
But I don't think it was specified that I got the other guys.
Oh, damn.
Well, you make a d20 luck check to see where the stone ended up.
Let's see. Here goes luck. 4.
4.
I don't have that shit.
Dinok, you have 2 blaze stones in your pocket.
I will drop one of them on the ground, like stealthily if I can.
Make a sleight of hand check.
That is 25.
I like that you're doing it just in case I follow.
Yeah.
You drop the stone, but you drop it on your foot, so it lands softly on your foot, and then sort of like just flips it to the side, and it rolls for a bit, makes a bit of noise. But you're just passing by like some people who are working on carving a new corridor. So it just drowns in the sound, and it lands to the side, and then you are led on. So Balthasar, you walk down the corridor, and then you get to the point where the road or the corridor splits in 3 directions.
Can I find any clue as to people, which direction someone has recently walked?
Make a survival check.
Alright. Nope. 9.
9.
No.
You get down on the floor, look at the surface, and it's just like a polished obsidian surface, leaving no footprints. There's a bit of dirt, but it's leading in all 3 directions.
Alright. Well, you know what they say, when in doubt, just stick to the right wall. I'm gonna hit right.
Alright. Alright, you hit right. Dinok, at some point, the corridors become more ordered and they are more decorated. And you see there are doors beginning to pop up. You see some of them has names carved above them. And you get to one door that has a fancy sign with orange paint. It says "Blazing Night." And the guard just opens it, and you enter. Inside, there's a small, kind of like a front room with some. They look like guards, but they're dressed in orange clothes, so they might be like private security. It looks really nice in here. There's like couches along the walls, cushions. There's a small fountain, and the servants just take you through. They nod at the guards. They nod back, and then you're taken to a kind of like a waiting area with some tables with fruits and stuff on them. If you could just wait here for a moment, we'll fetch Hadorai. It might take a while. He's a busy man, but yeah. Please sit and just be as comfortable as you can be.
I will sit. Thank you.
And they walk out.
How many people are in the room?
So in this room, you are alone as they leave.
Okay.
There are 3 other doors leading out of the room, on top of the one that you just came through.
Okay. Do I know
There's just
which
this
one?
fountain, and then in the corner there's like a cage with a mechanical bird that makes all kinds of music.
Can I try to like stealthily look through the other doors? Like just
Sure, make a stealth
Sure.
check.
10.
10. All right, you get up, assuming you sat down on one of the couches. Then you walk over, and you lean over, and as you do so, the whole like frame of the door pops loose, and the whole plank falls down on the ground. And then someone comes out, just looks inside. Ah, it happened again. I'm sorry. Don't mind it. We're trying to
Oh.
get some masons to work on it, but they're busy.
Oh, okay. I was just afraid that I somehow broke something.
Well, it's already broken, so we can't really break it any further.
Okay.
He
Perfect.
looks at you. Are you waiting for someone?
Yeah. Some of the others said they were going to get the blazing night because of some work they might have for me.
Place. All right. He nods to you. Well, best of luck, and he bows out of the room.
Well,
very
I hope.
quickly.
Did he look afraid?
Make an insight check.
In 21.
You think he was? There was some fright in that, but also awe.
Okay. I would just try the other doors again.
All right.
Stealthily. Hope.
Well, you can make another stealth check.
17.
17. Look inside. There's a corridor behind this wall. You can see behind this door. And there are other doors leading to side chambers down at the end. A couple of servants, not the ones that were escorting you. It comes out of a room carrying a lot of like linens and stuff. They talk to each other and then disappear through another door. And then you look like in the other direction. It seems like this is some kind of like a private compound, kind of like a apartment complex or something like that. Set aside for the blazing night.
I quickly go to the other room and see if I can see that guy there.
All right, you walk over and you look inside, and it looks like some kind of like an office almost. Like there are several tables with piles of paper on them, and there's just this one guy sitting at one of them, noting down some stuff on it. And as you look through, he looks up at you again. Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to know where there would be a bathroom or something?
Oh yes, he points down at the door that led to the corridor with all the doors. Second room on the right.
Okay, thank you. If the others who are fetching the blazing night, if they're back before I'm back, could you just tell them that I just went there quickly?
Sure.
Perfect. I walk out and close the door again.
All right.
I will walk out the door I came in from,
Mm-hmm.
out into the hallways, and then I will find the blaze-stone, or the what was it called? Is it just called a blaze-stone?
Mm.
Okay. And then I'll just ask it to take me to Balthasar.
So you're back outside and it's kind of like the front room with the guards.
Oh, okay. I am.
Let's all look at you as you stand there. Going anywhere?
No, just looking around. I don't know. Am I supposed to stay in the room? I was
Please
kind of
do.
looking for the toilet. Okay. Thank you. I walk back in. Damn.
Balthasar,
Mm.
you are running through corridors, sweating profusely, as you say you've been here before, and then Gribbalus just tells you, "We've been here before."
Oh, did he join me?
Oh yeah, he somehow slipped
Alright.
along.
Sneaky Dragonborn.
Do you know where we're going, Balthazar?
Not really. I mean, it's supposed to be a maze, right?
Yes. We could ask direction some of those people working on the corridors, maybe. Maybe they have some Bladestones.
Maybe, but that'll also be suspicious. Wasn't it
Well,
only
it's
the
better
guards?
dying in a space like this. You're the talking guy. You work it out. You brought us into this place.
Shit. Can I remember walking past some workers?
Yes, you think you passed a group of workers twice.
I try and backtrack.
Alright. Make a survival check.
What was the survival again? 14.
14. Alright. You make your way back. Following the corridors you recall using. And then you turn a corner and you see this team working on a wall. And yeah, they sit there. Working with chisels. Measuring some stuff. Just doing their work.
What kind of clothing are they wearing?
They're wearing like an edgy equivalent of overalls.
Alright.
Lots of pockets holding tools and
Oh, yes. Shit. I run over to them.
Alright.
And just like, I'm so sorry. I lost my Blaze-stone. I really have to go see the Blazing Knight.
They look at you. Look at each other.
You know how he gets.
How did you lose your Blaze-stone?
Have you heard what happened in the court?
No.
A man melted.
Ah. Well, what does that have to do with you?
Well, I got terribly frightened. I fell down. I haven't been able to find it since.
Well, how did you get in here then if you don't have a Blaze-stone?
Well, I was kindly let in
Kind
because
of
someone
a-
recognized me.
The guy look over at the other workers. What kind of crazy guard would let someone into this maze without a Blaze-stone?
Someone who recognizes me. Just because you don't do. Just...
I guess it's fair. Fair enough.
So,
Well, we only have one Blaze-stone to share. We can't really give it to you.
I mean, I'll return. It's just a meeting.
Well, can't really get stuck here, you know.
Well, how long are you working?
Well, we still
Long
couple
hours.
of hours in this, I would suppose.
Yeah. This is a meeting. It'll take half an hour max.
But how are you gonna find us again?
Well, you know, life finds a way. And so do the Blaze-stone.
Make a what's it called, persuasion check.
Come on, Jeff Goldblum. Persuasion. Alright. 24.
24. It looks all right. You know what? But you owe me one. You owe me one. And
Absolutely. What's your name?
Just pocket. Carlo.
Carlo. Right. Of course. Anything.
Yes. He hands you his Blaze-stone.
Thank you. And I just turn around and look at the Blaze-stone and start following it.
Right. It's not really showing anything at the moment.
Alright, well. I just continue down the hallway. Yeah.
All right. You make it away from them. Turn the corner. You can see the workers are just looking at you. Turn the corner.
All right, got it. I have to slip out of
Good.
this voice again. Got it.
Let's get going.
All right. So, to the blazing night, I guess.
A symbol shows up. It shows three markings stacked as a pyramid pointing upwards.
I'm going to assume I just hit where they point straight ahead, I guess.
Alright, you follow it. And we are at 9 o'clock, so we should probably end here. So you disappear down the corridor, followed by Grubbalist holding the Blaze-Stone in your hand.
Will Balthasar make it, or will he starve to death? Find out on the next episode.
Well, maybe you...
Will Dinok ever meet his friends again?
Dinok just sitting in the waiting room, just the fountain and the music playing in the corner.
This was supposed to be a stealthy mission to steal some souls back, and now it has turned into a pathfinding adventure and a job interview.
Yeah, so next time, look forward to Dinok's job interview, and we'll see how the Blaze-Stone...
You have to start writing Dinok's resume.
Oh god.
And also a lot of hack jobs.
Oh yes, different for each person, so that'll be interesting.
Alright, well, we'll be back next week, next Thursday. 7 p.m. Central European Time, as we are almost every week. Hopefully, we'll have some of the other players with us next time, and we'll have to figure a way out to introduce them into the story. I'm sure we can find a way. Life finds a way.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, we do have a YouTube channel called Double Dragon Trouble, where you can rewatch or watch previous episodes. Yeah, apart from that, we'll see you next time, hopefully, for some more adventures.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
DnD.